Well, thank you, Laurel, for those lovely remarks. Some very surprising. I'm very honored to be here to receive this award and thank the Public Policy Forum for it. So I don't have any prepared speech. I think it's actually good because I would have changed it 100 times once I learned who was in the room. So it's actually interesting. I've toured a lot of political people through my laboratory. And I always show them the same thing. I take apart a lithium-ion battery so they can see what's inside of it. The very first politician I can remember that came through the laboratory was Rodney McDonald, Premier. Now, we had him assemble a hydrogen fuel cell, actually. Since then, we've had Andy Fillmore. I showed Andy Fillmore a very good lithium-ion battery that was charging and discharging for a number of years, had 3,000 charge-discharge cycles. And then came Darren Fisher. By that time, the battery probably had 5,000 charge-discharge cycles. Then we had Ian Rankin come in, just about 2 weeks after he became the premier. 3 days after he announced the EV rebates and the electric bike rebates. By that time, the battery had, I don't know, 7,000 cycles on it or something. And then Tim Houston came to the laboratory and I toured him around and showed him the same battery, which now is over 5 years old, has over 16,000 charge-discharge cycles, full charge-discharge cycles. That was in your vehicle. It could power your vehicle for more than 6 million kilometers, okay? Now around here, your car is going to rust away long before 6 million kilometers. So why do you need a battery that's that good? Well, we've got to get off fossil fuels, not just in transportation, but in everything, electricity generation, home heating, the works. It means we need to bring more renewables on the grid. We need more solar, we need more wind. They're not always there all the time. So you have to be able to store the energy from the sun, the energy from the wind, and then use it when the wind and the sun are not available. And one place you can store that energy is in lithium-ion batteries or other advanced batteries. So if you have a vehicle that can do these 6 million kilometers and support 16,000 charge-discharge cycles, this vehicle should be plugged into the grid when it's parked, so that when the sun is shining and the wind is blowing, those batteries can be charged. And when the renewables are not available, that energy can be put back into the grid. So that's called vehicle-to-grid technology, okay? Vehicle-to-grid technology is going to be really important. One of the reasons for this is because there's a huge expansion in lithium-ion battery production around the world. Production will increase by a factor of 20 between now and 2030, 20 times more. But every single one of those batteries is targeted for vehicles, which is good. But at the same time, we have to bring more solar and wind onto the grid. We need this vehicle to grid. That means we need these batteries that have incredible lifetime, so that when your car is parked, you don't have to worry about the fact that you're racking up charge-discharge cycles. Things get even more interesting than this. People like Simon Kennedy, who I was sitting next to at the table, are very concerned about supply chain. Where are all these materials going to come from that go into these lithium-ion batteries? Already, At this moment, the price of lithium resources, lithium carbonate, is higher than it's ever been at any time because it's in great demand. There are resources out there, but it takes years to develop new mines. In 2030, I think there'll be enough materials available to support the lithium battery business. But as we move forward beyond that and start to really move into more solar and wind that needs to be backed up, we're going to need more sustainable technologies. And this is why myself, Michael Metzger, who's sitting here, raise your hand, and Chanyun Yang, who are the three professors that are in the Tesla project, have started working on the sodium-ion battery. It's a cousin of the lithium-ion battery, but of course it uses sodium, which is abundantly available. Just look at your salt shaker. You know, it's everywhere. And our goal is to make sodium-ion batteries last as long as the lithium-ion battery. And at the moment, they don't. So there's a lot of challenges for us to overcome. But we're committed to doing that because we're committed to eliminating fossil fuels. You know, fossil fuels they're just too easy. We're spoiled. Dig a hole in the ground and oil just comes out. Like, think about it. That's super easy. This whole battery business is difficult. You have to mine materials, construct batteries, and it's a lot harder than fossil fuels. But that's where we're headed, and everybody needs to get on board. Otherwise, your grandchildren and my grandchildren are going to be in a pretty hot place. Thank you very much.